What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Lucky Show. This is your main man, Lucky, in the building.
What's up, Sold Out?
Y'all know how we get out, man. We got a lot of things to get into today, as usual. Shouts out to all the folks that's been hitting us up on Twitter, as well as the people that's been hitting us up on Facebook as well. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to all of y'all. What's been the business, all?
Not much, man. Not much at all. The news been kind of slow this week. Nothing really that I can just chime in on right now.
It's been, this is America. Everything going on each week.
There was only one thing that I saw. The guy who was on WikiLeaks, the founder of it, he got arrested for some child molestation charges.
What?
Yep, he was over there, and he got arrested in England, actually.
What's he doing in England?
I have no idea, but they got his ass.
Yeah, damn.
And the U.S. is trying to find a way to expedite him to the U.S. so they can file him on charges. But there's nothing in the U.S. laws that says he did anything illegal. So now they're trying to find something that will create new laws right now so they can arrest him.
That's quite Americanish.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Find a way to get you. That's the plan.
We don't have anything. Let's make some stuff up right now.
Yeah.
Land of the free, right?
You know. Kind of up the block I've been looking at, man, that it kind of, brought to my attention. This day and age with albums, it seems like, where's the days of, making an album with all killers and no fillers?
All killers and no fillers. What do you mean by all killers and no fillers?
All straight, hits or jams. Just classic records. Banger after banger. No, we get those subpar songs that's thrown in the middle. The ones that they basically made probably a month before, 2 or 3 months beforehand, and they didn't want to use it then, but because they was running out of time, they went ahead and threw it on there.
Well, see, I'd say it was the opposite these days. All albums are mostly filler and no killers, like no classic killers.
Okay.
You got a bunch of stuff that you jams on the radio, like for a little while, like pop records and stuff like that, but nothing that like a legendary song that you can always go back to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So, well, a person who I'd say, who just recently came out, I think who had a good idea. It's kind of like taking the same approach as the late great Michael Jackson did with the Thriller album and Off the Wall. He only gave you 8 to 9 cuts, but there were 8 to 9 singles. They were hits. He was able to do that. So I think that this day and age, we're coming back to why you're probably seeing a lot more short albums. For that same reason, it's a waste of money to continue to fill up the album at that anyway.
But you're still not giving the people what they want. I think you're right about the fact that it doesn't matter how many songs you have on there if they all bad. But on the same token, you can't make like an 8-song album with terrible songs on it either. Right. Now they feel like they're getting shortchanged, and they got a crappy album in their repertoire.
But if you got 8 potential, tracks that could be a single, why not go ahead and run with what you have? At the same time, that leaves you with a CD that you can perform that whole CD, one night. Basically, you can tour with that. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I get it, but it still doesn't. You can only tour with that for but so long. If you make music only for the here and now, for the moment, you won't be able to play it later because it'll go out of style and then you're struggling to find yourself.
So what are you saying? You mean to tell me that okay, if you come up with an 8 to 9 disc, that's not considered a classic?
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Thriller was a classic. They only had 9 cuts.
But now people aren't making that caliber of music though. That's what I'm saying. You have 8 or 9 cuts, but they're not Thriller classic cuts. They're like songs.
So you ain't saying? So wait a minute. You think you tell me then you think there's no classic joint that came out lately?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Serious as a heart attack.
I don't know about that, man.
Name one. Littering Ann. Littering Ann.
We can go with Ross's BMF.
That is not a classic song.
That's a classic song.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, your kid is not going to want to hear that song.
That's a
You're
classic
not going to want to hear that song 20 years
That's
from
a
now.
classic song.
That
Man.
is not
From
a
the
classic
chorus
song.
to the beat, and then
You guys are not.
he
Nobody's
has
not.
chanting lyrics on that joint, man.
So that
It has so much,
your kid is going to listen to that
enthusiasm
song
behind that track when it's played.
20, 30 years from now. Nobody's going to even care about that song.
I don't see how that. I don't.
That's because
That track.
it's popular now. I will say that's a very popular song now. But I'm saying, like, later on down the line, people are not going to say, wow, Rick Ross really had it right there, man. He had like a bunch of talent. And this song, that was a song for that era. There's nothing you can define that era.
Okay, wait a minute. What album probably that's come out lately that you feel that the Met game? And it's not, you know what? Like I said, a lot of the albums are shorter now.
Okay. Albums that I like right now?
What album that you may consider classic? So do you feel like there's no album that's come out lately that's considered a classic?
I mean, there's albums that I like, but I wouldn't consider them classics. Like, I like the Kanye album. That's a good album.
But there's a lot of critics that's considering that a classic album.
It's not a classic. I wouldn't consider it a classic, though.
Oh, come on, man. He's changing things. 10 years from now, we can go back and say that man made a classic album.
You think so?
Hell yeah. Listen to the tracks. I mean, where is you going to
know.
get something like So Appalled? He basically took back, the sound of what we used to, listen to back in the day.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
took
perfected
what?
it now.
He got one of RZA's beats and rapped over it. Okay. Yeah, RZA is, RZA is a classic. Like, he's in that old school hip hop era, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's a classic joint. Just because you got somebody from the past to do a beat and even put them on there, even though his verse was kind of offbeat, to say the least.
True indeed.
I mean, that doesn't make it a classic track.
But I think all around the album, it has a classic feel,
I mean, I would say
all songs, co-side with the other one.
Kanye West's new album has an original feel to it. I wouldn't say classic. It's original, but I wouldn't say classic.
So what does the album say, for instance, once you immediately you heard it, you like, oh, that's a classic?
Oh man, Outkast's album, Speaker Box and Below.
So as soon as you heard that, you knew it was a classic.
Yeah.
As soon as you heard everything on that joint, it was a classic.
Not so much Speaker Box, but Below what? That was classic.
What's wrong with Speaker Box? What's wrong with Speaker Box?
And Speaker Box.
See, I'm tired of everybody always
Speaker Box actually.
Big Boy and Dre up, man.
Speaker.
Damn it, if it's Outkast, it's both of them.
No. I'm not gonna pit. I'm never gonna pit those two against each other because I think they work together so well. And without one, you can't have the other.
Exactly.
That's what I say about those two. But when you had Speaker Box, I mean, it seemed like Big Boy, what he wanted to accomplish with Speaker Box, it wasn't as nearly as creative as The Love Below. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna compare those two, but I mean, those joints on there, they were jamming. They were good. But if you look at it critically, like song for song, the way they designed their albums, it's painstakingly obvious that Andre 3000 put his ankles in that one.
True indeed, man. Well, all I can say is Kanye's album is a classic, goddamn. So coming up next, we got STD, those studies. Coming up next on the show. Also, y'all be on the lookout. Another topic that we got to get into today is promiscuity. So that's coming up as well. Y'all stay in tune with the TLS show.